What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Sunday instant reaction show for you. October 13th, 2024. Update. Personally, I we made it home yesterday in the afternoon. Traffic was not bad on I-10 and I-75 out of Jacksonville, so made it home in less than 5 hours. So take that. That's a win. But we do have a roof leak. So we've got some discoloration on the ceiling, which tells you water got in. And so I'm pumped about that. Really excited. Actually, I should be jumping up and down with joy, but I'm sure you guys have gone through this shit before. So anyway, you're going to have to deal with contractors coming in, fucking with your stuff. I, I don't have time to filter myself today. The neighborhood is trashed. Looks like a demilitarized zone. We have trees down everywhere, just people's shit just strewn about the neighborhood, down the street. It looks terrible. Anyway, well, but that's all for me. So let's talk about this ball game. Obviously, not the outcome we wanted. Uh, I like to state the obvious first. But I will say it's just one loss. And in this 12 team format, um, all of our goals as a team are still in front of us. You know, I would expect to see a rematch of Ohio State and Oregon, probably for the Big Ten championship. Most doubt, most unlikely. But so let's take a breath. Woo saw that shit. Do whatever it takes to make you feel better. Do a couple shots, do a couple lines. I don't care. But take a breath. All the goals are still there. It would have been really hard to go through this schedule undefeated. Just the Big Ten schedule alone. I'm not talking about the non-con schedule. I'm talking about the Big Ten schedule. You know, it would have been really hard to go undefeated. So, all right, we got one win out of the way. Now the margin for error is a little less. Probably could still get in the playoffs with the two-loss Big Ten team, and then you're going to see at least four Big Ten teams get in to the playoffs. So um, I think we're still easily one of them. And if you guys see like anybody dropping Ohio State in the polls, like outside of the top six, then that person's an asshole because there's no reason. If you're going to keep Bama and Georgia up there after losing, or yeah, after anyway, you know what I'm saying. So Ohio State is not screwed and tattooed. We're in good shape. Uh, a lot of things to work on. This defense needs a lot of work. Chip Kelly, I would like to talk to him. So Buckeyes lose 32-31. Kind of a back and forth game. But Chip Kelly, I want to know what happened in the second half. So Travion went 10 carries for 87 yards on the game. I'm focusing on the run initially. Just ran for 141. 326 through the air. I said this on Friday with my keys to a Buckeye victory that if Will Howard is throwing, you know, 40 times, we're probably, or even close to it, we're probably in big trouble. And that's kind of what happened here. So um, Howard, 28 of 35. If he's getting close to 40 attempts through the air, that means we're behind or we're trying to mount a comeback or something. So, but Howard had 326 yards, two touchdowns, 80% completion percentage. So I can't complain about that. I will say uh, he had a streak of nine in a row in the second half. And again, I mean, he only had seven incompletions for the entire game. It's just Gabriel was 23 of 34, so not as accurate, but he put up 341. But back to my point about the run game, I want to compare the each half here. So first half, we attempted 21 rushes, got a 5.8 average there. I know we had a big one from Trey. Then second half, just 12 rushes, 12 rushing attempts for 1.6 yards per carry. Now you can say, well, Joe, they took away the run. No, I don't think that's true. I know we had Josh Simmons go out. By the way, it sounds like Josh Simmons is out for the season. That is the bigger loss than any other part of this game. All right. Now, I'm going to get to Denzel Burke. Don't, just let's chill out. But uh, the loss of Josh Simmons for the year is big time. That's a big time problem. Now, Zen Mahalski came in, did well. I can't complain. I got to look at the PFF grades, and we'll do the offense tomorrow on Monday and then the defense on Tuesday. But just from the naked eye watching, I don't think he had a bad game. Zen coming in, off the bench, cold. I think he did well for himself. So anyway, back to the point about the running game in the second half. Why, Chip Kelly, did you stop running the ball? Fourth quarter, 6 rushes for 2.2 yards. Third quarter, 6 rushes, 1 yard. So in the second half, they really just totally stopped running the ball. I need to know why, because they were doing fine in the first half. You know, first quarter, 10 attempts, a 9.9 average, almost 100 yards there. And then second quarter, 11 attempts, just 23 yards. So I don't know. I need some clarification there from Chipper. Or, I mean, is the play calling's been good so far, but we've gotten to the point where we got to start questioning play calling, especially in a loss, right? And same for the defense. We got to question some of that shit. So, okay, I banged on the running game. Why we went away from it, I don't know. I think it probably has to do with the O line issues, taking you know, all conference guy and Josh Simmons off the field for half the game is probably the main reason I would guess Chipper would say. But 8 penalties for 70 yards, that is not a recipe for success either. Then you mix in what we have, the fumble by Quinshawn. Now I understand the kind of rule of thumb that Ryan Day goes by, or his staff, where if running back gives up the ball, that you bench him for a while. You don't, if you can't protect the ball, you can't play, is kind of their mantra. So I understand that, but they brought in Quinshawn to score that touchdown later on. So which is it here? I think we could have seen a heavier dose of Quinshawn and Trey, both. Again, Trey 87 yards on 10 carries. He had the 53-yarder, the long one, but I like I like the way they used the Mecca in the run game, 2 runs for 20. Will Howard had 9 attempts for 13 yards and the touchdown. He had a long of 12 there. Um, and the receivers, Emeka, 10 catches, 93 yards, had 10 targets. Jeremiah, 9 catches on 13 targets, 100 yards even, and the touchdown. G. Scott got in the mix. How about that? Actually did some damage too. 3 catches, 46 yards, had a long 25-yarder. He had 4 targets there. Quinshawn had a couple catches for 38 yards. Trey a couple for 4. Kazmarek 1 for 32. That was not a catch, sir. But he got credit for it because Ohio State got to the line quickly and snapped the ball. Carnell Tate, I thought he would be a bigger factor. 1 for 13 on 2 targets. I was hoping he would be a bigger factor, but it wasn't the case. Now, all right, let's look at this Buckeye defense, and we can all throw our hands um, and throw fists at each other or ourselves, or throw our hats against the wall, stomp on them, whatever. You gave up almost 500 yards of freaking offense. That's that's not a win. You're not going to win if you give up 500 yards. 496 to be exact. 341 they gave up to the little guy, Dylan Gabriel. 2 touchdowns. He was 23 of 34. Yeah. They were a little better on third downs. We were 4 of 12. They were 6 of 14, but um, yards per play, they were better. 6.9 to 7.6 for Oregon. And then Evan Stewart. I got to take a drink. Wish that was vodka. Evan Stewart, I know. Burke got roasted. He did. But I'm not in the camp, and I don't think Tim Walton and Ryan Day are in the camp of benching a 4-year starter and one of the leaders of your team. What kind of signal does that send? And what do you do if you bring in Jermaine Matthews and shit is just as bad? What if Stewart torches him for two more? Then you got Denzel Burke out of the game. He's probably mentally checked out too, right? And then you got a young guy in there getting roasted too. Um, I, I hear both sides of it. I'm just saying this is my point of view. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's an opinion. I know many of you wanted Denzel Burke benched. I get that. Um, I don't know if you can do that to one of the leaders on your team. It'd be like benching Jack Sawyer for not getting any pressure on the quarterback. Nobody did. Nobody benched Jack Sawyer or Cody Simon for missing a tackle. So I think it's out of the realm of possibility to really think that the coaches are going to bench again a 4-year starter at corner and one of the team leaders. Where were we here in the defense? Um, really expected. I expected the defense to tighten up in the second half. That's what we've seen, over the first few or the first uh, part of the season. But um, yeah, first half allowed a total of 285. Um, so the bulk of the yards were had in the first half, but most of that was through the air, 212 to 73 pass to rush. Then in the second half, only 82 yards rushing, so we kind of shut down the run somewhat, but 129 through the air, and uh, Gabriel was 12 of 18, and yeah, they moved the ball. Let me look at the drives here. So yeah, start off the game. Buckeyes give them 6 play, 18-yard drive punt. Then they go 2 plays, 28 yards after the Quinshawn fumble. They score a touchdown on that on a short field. Then 6 play, 33 yards, field goal attempt. Then 4 plays, 75, touchdown with the big play there. Then 5 plays, 32 for a field goal. Then 7 plays, 75 yards, another big play mixed in there for a touchdown. Then third quarter, end of the first quarter, they punt with 6 seconds left. We lost that middle eight of the game. They scored a touchdown. We did not. Then coming out of the third quarter, they got the ball first. We held them to 6 plays and a punt. Then a turnover on downs, 13 plays, 73 yards. That's the drive that ended down inside the 5. And then we punted the ball back to them. 5 plays, 60 yards, another big play to cap it off, a touchdown drive there. Then the field goal drive on 11 plays, 74 yards that ran a little over 4 minutes off the clock. So, and the Buckeyes just, we had some long drives, 10 plays, 75, 12 plays, 75, both for touchdowns, 13 plays, 53 yards for a field goal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to start, man. Defense. Looking at the pressures, we had 19 pressures on the quarterback, 0 sacks. That's not a good ratio, man. Only 5 hits on the quarterback, one batted down ball, 14 hurries, but um, 19 pressures and 0 sacks. That's a mobile quarterback for you, man. That's a big problem. You got it again, Jack Sawyer. He was up there. JT led the team with 7 pressures, Jack 4, Kenyatta 3, um, Cody Simon 2, Sonny 1. But the missed tackles here, of course, is my biggest issue, and that's going to cost you. Lathan Ransom leading the team with 3. We had 11 as a team. Cody Simon with a couple, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, JT, Jack, Ty Hamilton, each with 1. So uh, you can't have that again. More than 7, 8 missed tackles a game, especially double digits, you're screwed, man. If you're gonna just if you can't make tackles, you're screwed. You're freaking screwed. Uh, Targets. Denzel Burke targeted 8 times, gave up 8 catches, 22.4 yards per catch. Yeah, yards after catch, 51, two touchdowns. He's just biting on the double move all night long. Too many, he had his eyes in the backfield on every freaking play. You can't do that, man. You got to play the man. Um, the double moves killed him. And he picked a hell of a time to have his worst game as a Buckeye. Um, so anyway, Sonny Styles targeted 5 times, allowed 3 catches, just 13 yards, no major damage there. IGB, 4 targets, 3 catches allowed, just 17 yards. Cody Simon, they got him, dinged him for 67 yards on 3 catches. But yeah, nobody else allowed a touchdown except Denzel. So yeah, those are the big issues. Defense couldn't get off the field on third down. Allowed some drives, turnovers didn't help. A turnover anyway. The kickoff, the onside kick, they hit Caleb Downs. He was wearing number 48. Um, he had to change his jersey to be on special teams. So the Buckeyes saw it coming. That was a kickoff from the 50. So it was probably a calculated risk by Dan Lanning, and not a bad one. I'll just kick it as hard as you can at somebody and see what happens. And Caleb Downs was like a backboard, just bounced right off of him. So anyway, again, uh, I know we're all hurting, but we got a week off, a lot of shit to work on, especially on defense, and stuff to clean up. So look forward to hearing from the coaches and players if we hear from them this week or next, whatever it might be. But me, Jeff, and Sean will be talking about it tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern here live on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. So hope you will join us and get their reactions. I know the end of the game is going to be a huge point of contention, but um, the offensive pass interference is a fucking joke. Again, not filtering myself today. It's a filterless Sunday. So offensive pass interference, especially in that situation, I never. When do you ever see that called at all? Forget the time of the game. How many times have you seen an OPI called in your lifetime? Bet you can count them on one hand. So horseshit call put us out of field goal range, by the way. So we got screwed on that one. And the stadium didn't help, gave us a few false starts. So maybe they got some home cooking, a little help. I don't know. But anyways, uh, everything's still in front of us. We can still go 11-1, chance to win, chance to play for the Big Ten championship, and still get a first round bye. That's the key. You want a first round bye. That's ideal. Worst case scenario, we lose again, and we're still in the 12-team playoff. That's worst case scenario. We're not losing 3 freaking games this year. It's not happening. So anyway, hope you'll join us tonight, 7:30 Eastern, here on YouTube Live. There will be another day. All right. And probably a rematch with these Ducks. And the rematch will not be in their home stadium. That's for sure. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Go Bucks.